No, this is not clickbait. No, this is not rage bait. Fire Force Season 3 was genuinely bad, and I'm here to talk about it. I disliked sitting through Fire Force Season 3 because it felt like it just threw away a lot of the stuff that they were building up in the previous seasons, and that's not just including plot. That's also animation, sound quality, villain choice. And one might ask, Money Monsoon, why are you making a hate video on Fire Force? I actually was a pretty big Fire Force fan, so that's why I have a lot of strong feelings about this anime. That's why I want to have a genuine discussion about how bad this season was. And if you dislike it, that's okay. I do not care. This is my experience, and who knows if it's unique or not. I also don't really care, because this whole season really felt like the whole company was just spoon feeding me dog the whole time. So let's talk about it. Before I was even met with Fire Force Season 3, I got to look at the ratings. I usually don't go out of my way to look at the ratings or anything, but it just appeared on my TikTok feed or something. I got these ratings and I was like, this doesn't look right. Oh, there's so many yellow. And so when I started watching Fire Force Season 3, I knew not to really get my hopes up at the beginning. Like, maybe it picks up in the middle, because that's what the ratings are saying. And boy, were the ratings right. Fire Force Season 3 didn't really pick up until the middle. The plot was kind of there. I did like the plot, but the plot could have been so much better, and it wouldn't really be too hard for it to be better. And so I got past those first few episodes. I got to the episodes that were rated higher, which is where they actually decided to pick up the animation a little bit. And even then, I was met with a little bit of a disappointment. Like, it felt more disappointing because I just felt like it could have been a lot better. And that's animation wise, and that's power usage wise. And so then I found myself at the end of this season. I know a lot of people are talking about, oh, it's so interesting, all this sort of stuff, but I was disappointed with the end of the season. Not plot wise, but more just animation wise. And so let's really talk about it. Of course, if you don't want spoilers, you should not be watching this video. If you have plans on watching Fire Force and don't want spoilers, do not watch this video. Anyway, let's start off with the plot. Plot-wise, I actually don't think they made a bad choice, but they could have made it a lot more interesting and entertaining. We start with the squad captain being abducted randomly, and then the whole squad creates plans to rescue him, and so they are going to be branded as criminals, an enemy against the Tokyo Empire. That is a pretty cool plot line. Now we put Squad 8, one of the strongest teams, against everyone. They are now an enemy of everyone, and I think they could have done a lot more with that. Like, once they started to go on the run and they were above ground, I believe to make it a little bit more interesting, they could have run into a different squad, have interactions, get into a squabble, a little fight with a different squad. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but they definitely could have done like something, because Joker just found them out of nowhere and just picked them up. It's like, oh, well, you guys are running above ground, let me help you run up below ground, I guess. Which it just didn't really play upon the plot that they're like wanted criminals too much. Like, the only part that like really changed anything is like, oh, I guess we should hide our vehicle and move below ground and trust this random guy. And that's pretty much it. Maybe it'll play more of a factor into the next season, but it really didn't feel like much changed. Like, how cool would it be if they actually had to like fight some other squads, even just a little bit, and they're still like running low on time. And so then they go rescue Ogi before he is injected with an insect. Shinra and Joker make it up to Ogi, and then they start a fight with Burns. So far, so good. The plot there, I can't be mad at that. I don't think there's anything wrong with the rescue arc, except for the fact that Joker should have done a lot more. With what Joker did, it really just felt like he just pulled up. That's pretty much what he did. He showed Shinra the way and pulled up. While he was fighting Burns, he could have saved Ogi the whole time. They should have gave Joker a fight with the guy who was guarding Ogi, but instead, he just watches Shinra's entire fight. Ogi, and I just realized it was Obi, not Ogi. He spends a whole, few hours flexing, while Joker was like, you know what? Maybe a dark hero shouldn't defeat Burns. It has to be a real hero. Yeah. And then he pulls out a cigarette and does nothing. That he just keeps watching the fight while he has the mobility. It even pissed me off at the end where they do rescue Obi, and he just uses his Joker cards, which he could have done the whole time, to kill those insects. He could have even done that secretly while Shinra was fighting Burns on the roof. He could have done that the whole time, but like, it really felt like he pulled up to do nothing. They could have gave Joker a fight, like a solid fight with the dude up there, like made him powerful or something. Or they could have made him weak. I don't care. Joker should have been doing more. That part was a little bit bad writing on their part. Excusing the fact that Obi was just flexing the whole time. And he's like, oh, well, I guess if I flex, my abs are really just rock solid steel. They can't penetrate this. Even going along with that, Joker should have just done more. That's the complaint there. Then there's the whole plot line with Arthur getting his Excalibur and finding his parents. That was genuinely one of the most stupid things I've ever watched in my life. The way that they just appeared in his life just to lead him to a material falling off of a rocket, and Arthur has literally zero emotion about his parents abandoning him, telling him the Nether was too dangerous for Arthur, so we left him. It's too dangerous to raise a kid down there. And then they had 3 children living in the Nether. Like, come on, bro. We all know his parents are bad parents. At least now we know. But there was just no plot line there. They shouldn't even have come back. I don't think anyone was worrying about Arthur's parents. It should have been like some illusion trick or something. And it's not even really explained why they know so much. They're in the Nether. They're like, oh, well, we're trying to save the world down here. They aren't really doing much. Just talking about saving the world down here. Like, we're on a mission to save the world. Who knows how they know so much about the evangelists and all this other bullshit. But like, they just pull up into the plot, know everything, give Arthur his stuff, and then dip. That's pretty much exactly what it is. And the stuff that they know is the stuff that other people in the Fire Force plot are figuring out. Imagine if we didn't get the perspective of Hana, who went down to below the church to find all this stuff about combustion and all that whatever stuff, and we just got Arthur's parents coming out of nowhere to tell him the truth about everything. I'm sure people would be pissed. I'm pissed. And speaking about the Hana plot, I dislike how the villain, Mother Superior, came out of nowhere. Her villainhood came out of nowhere. They just made her a villain. Like, sure, I guess it fits into the plot that, like, there's a bad person putting insects in the food and causing combustion. It would have already made sense if it was just a tragedy that Rekka caused. But no, I guess it had to be a co-op job. And this Mother Superior also just had to be someone who's been alive for 250 years and also the core of the evangelist. Like, come on now. I just dislike that whole thing, how she appeared as a villain. It's not even just that she appeared as a villain. It's more that she just came out of dog shit nowhere when they were down in the basement, the secret basement of a burned church. Like, does she just live around there? She pulls up only exactly when they pull up? Like, come on now. What, does she have like some plug up her asshole that vibrates whenever someone comes down into the basement of a burned down church or some shit? Like, come on now. Please, someone explain to me some bull, like. And then, of course, to top that off, they make her like some super OP blitzing character. You turn to the side, you turn back, and now she's in your face, breaking your arm. Like, oh my goodness, bro. My final disinterest, plot-wise, was when Shinra pulls up to go fight that huge mecha Inferno. When he pulls up to fight that Inferno, he literally goes around, flies, and does nothing. And then, as soon as a Juggernaut goes to fire a shot, he pulls up in front of Juggernaut and takes a shot. That's like the first time we see him do something to stop anything. And he just gets one-tapped. This is our hero who supposedly had a shit ton of training and is moving so crazy. He pulls up to get one-tapped by Juggernaut. We've seen Shinra able to change the course of arrows that courses can't be changed. He was able to do all that shit. You mean to tell me with Juggernaut's shot, he couldn't do that with his shot? He had to hop right in front of it? Like, come on now. It just feels like Shinra was moving stupidly. He knows the evangelist is after him. And he goes to the spot where it's clearly an evangelist plot. Like, a pillar arises out of nowhere. And he just gets picked off and picked up by an evangelist. No fight, no anything. That kind of pissed me off. And then also his brother Shows pulls up to fight the evangelist, but he has to jump on arrows the whole time. This is a random plotline that I hate right now, because he's jumping on arrows the whole time to even try and get a hit, but then he sees his brother falling or something, and he goes to go rescue his brother, and out of nowhere, he's just able to teleport and move without jumping on arrows. Like, I don't know how he was able to get horizontal momentum without the arrows, because he was struggling to do that the whole time. But out of nowhere, he's just able to do that like it's nothing and then get to the ground. Like, did he stop time and run on water or something? Or did he stop time and start flying? One of those has to be correct. And then also, he's also able to teleport without the Evangelist Grace. He's now moving in an opposite plot of the Evangelist, so he doesn't have Grace, but he has the Adola. That just feels like it threw away the whole plot of the first few seasons. Why wasn't Shinra able to do that? If Sho is able to just do it at will, like he's just able to do whatever the he wants, why can't Shinra do that? Shinra has to link between Sho to get that or he has to get Grace for a split second just so he can move that fast. But now it's just like, it's a Super Saiyan bargain cell. I guess we give this to everyone. Now I want to talk about the animation. Now, anime has been having this new trend of cores where they just drop half seasons and get the other half season later. I feel like, of course, I'm probably super spoiled, feeling bad about this. Like, maybe the core thing is a break on the animators who should have time to go home to their families and all this other stuff. Maybe the cores actually helps them have more breathing room for animation time. But for me, the only reason I was really fine with cores is because so far the anime that have had cores like Dandadan, the animation has been peak throughout the entire thing. Fire Force has not had peak animation throughout the entire thing. You remember the Burns fight, the Shinra versus Burns fight? We only really get to see half of the fight because of the animation. I know we should have got more of the fight. We should have got more of the fight. This is exactly how the fight plays out. Boom, an explosion. Burns is standing still. His heat is still very hot. Shinra and Joker are also standing still. Maybe Shinra moves a little bit and lights his flames, and then boom, right back off to some other plot line. That was most of the fight until they wanted to focus on the fight with him. And for those of you guys who don't really know what I'm talking about or are blinded by whatever nostalgia for some reason, I'm talking about a moment like this. I believe this is episode 4. We have the plot with them fighting someone else, right? Like, that's the main focus of the episode. Not the greatest fight, but whatever. Then it switches to an explosion. We got Ogi. He doesn't know what's going on behind him. And we got Burns and Shinra both posted up, standing still. Just more dialogue. I can't stand it. And he starts his flames. Burns still looking serious as ever. Looks like they might do something, and then back to the other plot. When I tell you it was like this since Shinra got up to Burns, it was maybe 1 or 2 clashes up there, and that was it. While I was watching it, I thought that Shinra was just not fighting him for the longest time, because that one was like the most recent one closest to their actual fight. And before that, those were even shorter. It was just the same formula. Explosion, Burns looking mad, his fire is still blazing, and Shinra also looking mad, maybe some dialogues like, oh my goodness, but you gotta let me through. Come on now. That's why I believe that like there should have been some other fight before that, like Shinra fighting someone else or doing anything really. Because there was the moment where they were putting bugs on Obi, and Shinra was literally standing still. It's like, what? No, you can't do that. I swear he was watching that happen. It wasn't like he was just moving or anything. It didn't even look like he was fighting. He was just like standing still like, no, don't do that. I was so pissed. Like, you're supposed to be one of the fastest fire users. If that didn't ignite a flame in you, like, what was going to? You're supposed to be so strong from the last season, from all that training, and we get this bullshit. So I was really thrown off by that. I also didn't know if we were going to see like any blue flames or anything for the longest time, because I just thought that Shinra forgot everything. And we even get to where Shinra does activate his blue flames. They don't give us much with that. I think he just goes for like a straightforward shot. He activates the blue flames and it's just like, okay, well, I'm just going straight at you. I'm not going to do any sort of combat style. It's just going to be one strong kick, and we're going to do a power struggle with the strong kick in your power. Needless to say, I was not a fan. I wanted to see Shinra moving crazy, like how Sanji was moving when he got his blue Diablo Jambus or some shit. Like, I wanted to see some crazy animation, of course. And I was met with disappointment. So he was training for last season to be able to have a power-up when he's about to lose, but that power-up is just one strong kick right now. The animation of the fight, Shinra versus Burns, they were cutting some corners in that. There was even a moment in the fight, I had to rewind a couple times because like Shinra got hit, but it didn't look like he wasn't making any expressions of him getting hit at all. It just like he fell backwards or something. Yeah, they were just cutting corners on the animation. They were hyping up this fight. It was still lacking in animation. Now, another thing I am also very disappointed in this season is the sound design. Fire Force made this whole little thing of season 1, season 2. They're talking about how they wanted to prioritize sound design of the show to make the impacts of punches hit like way harder, be way cooler, all this sort of stuff. And we saw that. We saw that in all the previous fights. We even get the clean ass Benny Maru moment, which we all know, where he just completely blows up that Inferno. This season felt like it was lacking in the sound design. Like, it really did. It felt like they just had the preset audio. So it's like, okay, well, we have Shinra using his fires. Let's just use this again. Let's use that again. We're not going to do too much here. We're just going to use the same old shit, and we're going to rinse and repeat. Some of it we're even going to be lazy in. Like the Shinra versus Burns, there was this moment, it really just throwing me off. This moment right here, I hated the sound choice for this. Like, Shinra's attacking him right here. This is even like the worst part. Like, it's just some punches, but it doesn't even sound like they're doing much here. So Burns knocks his ass down. He falls, picks him up in the head, right? You know, Shinra's done there, knocked out. Just listen to these punches. That doesn't even sound like they're trying to be innovative with the sound design. They're playing the same audio over again, and the punches don't really even have the impact. We're not seeing like the impact. They're just saying bang, 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 bang. Like, just needless to say, I was very, very disappointed. This whole season just felt like it was a step down from the previous seasons. The previous seasons felt like it was trying to outdo itself in both quality and animation. And this one felt like it was just a step back in all aspects, which is also very disappointing because this is only going to be a 3-season show. They did really well increasing the quality from the first season to the second season and having a lot of cool, unique fights. But this one, yeah, I just felt like it was very, very lacking. And not that they couldn't do better, because we've seen Fire Force do better, but more like it just felt like they didn't care. They didn't care about making it like the same quality. They just wanted to get the slop out and it's like, oh yeah, here's your dog shit. Hope you like it. And I hate that I'm not seeing nearly as many people talk about this, because this whole thing is it just sets me off. And notice how I didn't bring up at all about like any Tamaki scenes. Like, I get the fan service. I don't really have a complaint with them doing the fan service thing. I have a complaint with like just the quality of the plot dropping a lot. They're looking at the brink of the world collapsing, going up in flames, and the squad is still moving recklessly. Or the squad, should I say Shinra? Shinra is still moving recklessly. They almost lost their life like a couple times this whole season, and Shinra, supposedly supposed to be one of the main pillars that the evangelist is after, is moving like he's not. It's like if Naruto, the Jinchuriki that the Akatsuki were looking for, would like maybe constantly leave the village by himself or something and go do random shit that could get him killed, and not being careful while he does it. That's the comparison. Now, you guys let me know what you guys think about this season. I don't think I'm wrong in having a huge hatred for how they're doing this season. I do want to hear if you guys have any complaints in the comments, or if you guys think, oh, well, this is actually perfect, or Fire Force has always been like this. I do want to hear opinions on this, because I don't think I'm the only one who's thinking this way. Anyway, with that being said, I'll catch you on the next. Peace.